Right, hello. It's taking us a wee bit of time to get this all set up this morning. Came down and the power was off entirely. A fuse had tripped overnight, so it's taken us a wee bit of time to get set up. But I think we're live now, and yeah, it would appear so anyway. Just one wee minor adjustment here. That'd be good. There. Yeah. That should hopefully fix up the video a little bit as well. Right. Hello. Hi. You come around. I'll be done. You coming to say hello? Yeah. Sorry, Sunday morning, so the dog's roaming about, and he's a tired boy apparently. So 3 minutes in, according to my my stream that I'm watching, 31 meters out, free kick to Kyoto. It's a bit pixelated, the stream that I've got, so it's quite hard to make out as to who's taking it. Savio on the wall, Peter Otaka there behind him. I wonder if this is going to be a wee chip in or if this is going to be a direct shot. It looks like it's going to be a chip in. So, yeah, free kick was a direct shot and it was wide of target. Yeah, God, I'm just going to get some juice. I should have been a little bit more prepared, but it was last minute. I'm still feeling rotten, although today is a little bit better, so still got a bit of a voice, which is a bonus. But yes, So it's showing us having 3 people on at the moment. Can't see anybody in the chat, but we will see how we progress. I'm just keeping up the player stats on the screen. I will go into the game week and things like that, just have a wee look and see what's happening in terms of scores. But yeah, six players from Reysol I've got in this game, between limiteds and rares. Takahashi, Ominami, Toshima, Nakamura, Hosoya and Koyamatsu. And for Kyoto, I have Shirai, the right back. Got an assist last week, so I'm hoping he gets another decent score. He was one that I bought just to sell on, to be perfectly honest. So we will see how that pans out. I'm just going to close the door. The dog's left the living room door wide open. So 2 seconds. So yeah, the cabin fever has well and truly set in. It's been since last Sunday was the last time I was out. So yeah, I can't wait to actually get back. Bizarrely, I can't wait to get back to work for things to do. Just having a wee nosy at how the the specialist league's looking. 62nd in the specialist at the minute. You may have seen on the Twitter page, but the Gamba 90th minute goal they conceded took about 40 points off of my specialist score. I had the goalkeeper on a clean sheet and a defender on a clean sheet, so it was pretty massive to lose as much as that. That probably would, I'd say probably, at the moment that would have put me well into the tier 1s and only about 14 points off the tier 0s. Now obviously there's only been 2/3 of the games played, so there's still a lot of games to go, but that could have been massive, especially if Toshima can get a decisive or just a really good score. That would have been quite something. So, but yeah, I think that's the main one that I've got at the moment. With the All-Star one is I'm 295 points, and that don't see that holding. I think that needs to be a good bit more. Oh, attack! Good defending. Is that Koja? I think it was Koja. But yeah, no. Reysol have been a really fun team to watch. For the most part, I'm probably going to jinx that entirely, but they've got a chance to push themselves back up into 2nd place, I believe. I'll just have a quick look at the live table. Yeah, if they can get a win, they would go level with Kashima, and yeah, they would go above them on goal difference as well. So massive game for them here, and they would still both Kashima and Kashiwa would have games in hand on Kawasaki with a chance to go top. So it's a massive game this for them. However, Kyoto are no pushovers. They're sitting mid-table with 12 points at the moment. So they've fared pretty well in the early going. Yeah, I think they've had a couple of heavier defeats, but they've also had some good scores, and I think that's largely down to their aging striker, Peter Utaka, who's been in a rich vein of form. I couldn't believe the price of his card when I seen it on the market when they went up. I think the first one sold for the better part of like 900 quid or something for a 34 or 35-year-old striker, or I think he may even be older than that. But he's been very solid so far this season. So if he keeps that up, who knows? 10 minutes gone on the stream that I'm watching at the moment. I think looking at sofa score here. God, this is frustrating. This yeah, it's not showing us that at the moment. But Kozia being the captain, really solid hold to him as well. His scores are always pretty solid. To be fair, all the back three usually are. Omanami is probably the weaker of them all. He's one of the ones that I hold. He tends to score about the 50-point mark each week. However, he does have a couple of higher ones in him as well. So yeah, it's been a busy morning. I woke up and I was going to get up and try and come down and do some of the earlier games, but kind of glad I didn't. They were looked very dire, very poor affairs in terms of goals. Yeah, not an awful lot of early action here, apart from that free kick that went wide. Some of the young Japanese defenders are just so... They just look so smooth on the ball. I could see certainly quite a few of these boys ending up, with big moves overseas. I think, no disrespect to the J League, obviously a lot of these lads are going to look for, for bigger moves and things like that. And perhaps this summer you could see, especially with the likes of Celtic having had success with some of the Japanese lads that they brought in, you could well be seeing. Oh, that was nippy from the keeper there. That was interesting goalkeeping, but yeah, it's there's a breakaway here for Kyoto. Oh, and it's a deflection. It's 1-0 to Kyoto. I feel like was that offside in the build-up? That might be one of the review, because when they it looked as though whoever's going to be credited with the assist here was perhaps a shade offside when the ball was played through to him. So let's have a wee look here on the replay. Not offside there. Ball through. No, he was on. He was definitely on. It's a goal. It's going to stand. Kozia tried to get the block in, but all it did was take it up and over the goalkeeper. Yeah, not a great start. Not a great start. Any defensive boost for a clean sheet flying out the window. But yeah, 1-0 again. Kyoto, as I said, they're no mugs. They really are no mugs. They are checking it though. It's quite a lengthy VAR check here. I think they were checking for the same offside that I thought. They've been given the thumbs up. It's a goal. So it's 1-0. As you can see, the average scores suddenly plunge for Kashiwa. But yeah, that was a little bit of a poor one to give away. They just seemed to get caught on the break, and that was only moments after the Kyoto goalkeeper was playing with the ball on his own goal line and almost closed down. It was either by Koyamatsu or by Hasoya. I wasn't too sure, because again, as I say, it's a bit pixelated, the stream that I've got. So we'll have to just see how they can respond. They've got players in the team definitely able to get goals, so we'll see how this turns around. Just going to refresh that. He was credited with the goal. It was Ogiwara. Yeah, it was the left back that was in the box. That's what I was. I was quite confused when I seen it, so I was trying to figure out who it was. But there we go, 1-0. Shirai was involved a little bit in the build-up, but unfortunately it wasn't the assist. Koyamatsu playing a lot deeper today. I think they're playing with one up top as opposed to Koyamatsu playing alongside Hisoya. He's been coming quite deep so far. But we'll see how they end up shaping up as the game goes on. Offside against Savio. I do like that top. I'm waiting on the website that I got this one from to that's a tight offside decision. They gave it straight away without letting the game play, so it's interesting. But yeah, I'm waiting on that top appearing on the website that I got this one from, and I'll perhaps pick that up too. But yeah, it's interesting one. Sorry, I've got a couple of offers coming through here. I put up a couple of players for sale after seeing the excitement for having the specialist league and the limited team in there as well this week. It just gave us a few extra options to play, so I quite enjoyed it. And I'm thinking about trying to maybe go a little bit heavier in with some of the cards, because if I'm just missing out on, some premium cards by a goal in the 90th minute, that could be something worth investigating at least. So, the team that I've got in the specialist league, I counted it up and it cost 130 quid, and currently 71st. So there's 500 cards in it, so even if it was a tier 3, it's a card, isn't it? So I'm not sure it'll hold for a tier 3. I don't know what the average score would be for winning it. I hadn't actually looked at that before I went into it, but I've got a 62 point cushion at the moment. Yeah, should have been 100 points cushion. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of this game goes. Nice one, Rob. Yeah, this. I imagine a lot of folk are probably going to be sitting with Reysol players as opposed to the Kyoto players, so you're probably sitting in a good position. So yeah, fingers crossed for you, buddy. That'd be a massive one. There's nothing quite like a win, but a rare win. You'll get a fair chunk of ETH to go with that, as well as a. I'm not sure, is it a tier 1? It'll be a tier 0, I'm sure. Card to go with that. So yeah, no, that'd be pretty solid. So yeah, fingers crossed for you. At least if Reysol could at least get a goal, it would break a clean sheet at the back for any Kyoto owners. I think I put in the description just saying that there's obviously various means of watching the games. I've got mine through He's Goal, but I do also think you can get them online through some of the betting websites. I think Bet365 is one of them. If you've put a few pennies on the game, you can actually watch it. So it's worth having a look at. I'm not going to encourage anybody to gamble, but there's definitely ways you can watch the games for a minimal fee or for no fee. As I say, I've got mine through He's Goal at the moment. The only problem was when it upscales it to a large TV, it can go quite pixelated. I was also happy watching the Old Firm game later on as well, because I'm not going to be paying for another subscription service for that. So. But it's been quite a dour game. Yeah, do you know what, Rob? I was the same. That's why I ended up putting in a team to the rare well, the under 23s and the specialist rare. And I did that because there was only going to be, what was it, 60 prizes in Asia, and I just felt that wasn't, I think it was less than 5% was the payout compared to the entries. So I just didn't feel it was worth the investment. I thought, to be honest, I actually thought my under 23s were going to be my best option, because I genuinely thought Nagashima was going to start for Consadole. The fact I went with Tusic shows how far down the pecking order Gabriel Xavier is for certain. But they just seem to be protecting him. I wish they would just let him go, because that header he had, it was a great save from Slavic, but he's getting himself in those scoring positions, and that's something that Reysol are really struggling. Not Reysol, sorry, Consadole are really struggling with his goals. So I don't understand why, the kid isn't getting the games. So, but obviously Kaneko not starting as well, or not playing at all, hurt that one. So I actually felt like the under 23s was going to be my best option for a card, but it's not to be. So I'm just hoping that I can get like I say, get something out of Tashima here, and hopefully get a card in the specialist. So it would have been, oh, that's a slack pass. It would have been a solid option for it's a ball, well cut out. Again, Koja just makes everything look really easy. Yeah, it would have been good. Yeah, I totally agree, Rob. It is one of those where, if I was kicking myself a wee bit this morning, I was thinking, right, okay, especially when I seen obviously the players not being in the, like Kaneko didn't play and what have you, and I was like, right, okay, I could have had my Reysol stack in against, a newly promoted team, and Sugeno obviously got his clean sheet, and I was like, have I really screwed the pooch here? No, not by putting it in there. But the early goal here, obviously I've got two defenders, so the early goal here kind of paid to getting a big score off them, unless obviously they get decisives and things like that. But yeah, do you know what? It's I totally get it. It's just, I mean, Tusic doesn't bring anything to the table, and oh, that's through the back. That's a bad tackle through the back. Surprised that's only a yellow, to be perfectly honest. Number 24, Kawasaki for Kyoto. That's right through the back. Oof. From the side, it doesn't look as bad. From behind, it looked really bad. Yeah, I don't think that'll get reviewed. I did actually think for a minute or two that might get reviewed, because it was quite bad from through the back of Dodi there. I'm flicking between the teams so that I could actually make it, because I can see the numbers, but there's no commentary on the game. It's just crowd ambience that's on it, which is actually quite good to listen to. It's a lot of drums and things like that from the fans, as opposed to some of the chants you'll hear later on, for example, in the Old Firm game. That's one thing I'm going to drop in on. I wonder if I am signed into Twitch here, because if I am, I might drop in the background here onto... Am I signed in? Oh, I am. I don't want to watch Bateson. Certainly don't want to watch Bateson. Where is Adam? So I'm going to switch the sound. I'm going to mute it. But let's just drop a wee message in here. I've got your chat rules, Adam. Jumped on the stream, your stream on the live stream. I'll turn up the volume a bit.
Hey, Chris, how are we, man? Jumped onto stream your stream on the live stream. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's not letting me hear what's actually happening, but we'll. I just thought we'd drop in a wee. What's this now? So I get a few DMs here just asking for players and stuff like that, and it's a wee bit like, seriously. But yeah, so just thought we'd live stream a wee bit of Adam's stream. Appreciate what he's done, raising some money for Mind, mental health charity, by doing a 48-hour live stream, and I think he's been on FIFA almost entirely. So big up Adam for that one. You might have seen him on the oh, is that a big miss from Ataka? That was not good anyway. Yeah, doing a live stream, and he's raised over 500 quid for mental health charity, which I think, to be perfectly honest, is a massive thing. If especially in the current climate, mental health kind of gets swept under the carpet. So if you're able to donate anything onto it, I retweeted it yesterday. You'll find Adam on Twitter at AdamCarter92, and all his streams and links are on there if anybody's able to or willing to donate. That'd be pretty awesome. Nice one, Jordan. Yeah, I was watching some nonsense on the TV with the missus, and I got a message from a mate to tell me about it, but I didn't have the opportunity. I didn't have any ETH spare at the moment anyway. Had I done, it would have been it's going to end up probably being a big win. I don't see Shuttleworth being the long-term replacement, but he's certainly going to be for the next little while. I think they will look to bring somebody else in, whether it's a trade from within the MLS. I did see Sorare USA suggesting they might even make a move for somebody like Horvath from Nottingham Forest. So you don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. They could have Stefan. I'm sure Man City would gift them him now after his shambolic performance yesterday. But yeah, it's good God, they've just given away. I mean, they're playing really, really poorly here, I would say. I think that was that Koja. They just, or no, I think either Koja or Takahashi just put the ball straight out of play for a goal, for a corner, for no reason. Yes, it's not been the best of starts for Reysol. I mean, we're almost 30 minutes in, and I don't think they've actually even had a chance yet. Anything you would consider a chance? Yeah, no, zero shots. 30 minutes in. And one goal down. It's not a great performance, put it that way. Nothing really to speak about. It's quite poor, quite poor. And that's straight out of play from the goalkeeper again. It's was it a foul throw? Yeah, it was a foul throw, so they've been giving it back. But my goodness, that wasn't even close to a player. I mean, I think the nearest player was probably about 15 yards away when it was put straight out of play. But maybe, you know what? It happens sometimes, eh? I mean, it's like that with today with the Gamba goal. 90th minute, I had a 90th minute goal against my Handanovic that I had playing in the All-Star League, and he conceded, so that went from 35 points to like 19 or something like that, or 21. It's not it's not a good feeling when it happens, but unfortunately it does. Just having a wee nosy here at the moment. Takahashi. I've got Takahashi as my captain in the All-Star League, and he's sitting on 35 at the moment. Koyamatsu, as usual, since I bought him, man, he had those games where he had what, three. I had him sitting on my bench, and he got a couple of goals. I started to play him, and ever since I started to play him, he's just playing like shit. And I really think that I might need to move on from him. I think that's going to probably happen if he doesn't pull something out of the bag today. I am probably going to ditch him and pick somebody else up. Yeah, somebody's out of the blue telling me that they'll give me a goalkeeper for Hosoya plus 0.03, and I mean the quite simple fact is I've not offered for his goalkeeper, so why would I then be offering cash to go with the player that I've got up for sale? Absolutely bonkers. I mean, I know me and Russ spoke about it on the podcast this week, but some people are just absolutely bonkers when it comes to transfers and just think, you know, if somebody's wanting to trade, if you're wanting to trade, or if I'm wanting to trade with somebody, I'm going to offer them a better deal. You know, you have to offer them a better deal than the cash value, because they're not going to want it. You know, it's just stupid sometimes, honestly. I thought we were maybe on the verge of getting a shot there. We've had a couple of chances. You know, they're starting to remind me of, you know, some of the teams that just want to pass the ball into the goal, and it'd be good if they just hit the fucking thing. Yeah, very, very uninspiring to start the game anyway, put it that way. First half, they're going to have to really pull someone out the bag in the second half and turn this around, because they're playing very, very poorly. I mean, Shirai's not done anything of note either for Kyoto either, so none of my players are particularly excelling in this game. Trying to bring up my own team's results, but I can't just show, but it's not bringing it up. Bring up my players. There we go. There's a lot of these cards are actually limited. Don't know if there's a way to actually filter that out on here, but good turn. I saw you with a chance, but it was blocked. Behind for a corner. Yeah, so Morishima, I picked 2 of his limited cards up, and he had a storming game, an assist. I think he had 2 big chances created, 3 key passes. I think he won about 90% of his duels. Roman Kirschbaum had a big game for me yesterday, and he was a free card. He was one that I won in the Challenger League. Just got a big transfer to Rapid Vienna as well, so I've got him listed at the moment. I probably will end up looking to keep him. I'm just trying to free up some ETH so I can maybe go a wee bit stronger in some of these leagues with the limited cards, just so that, you know, I've actually quite enjoyed having the extra games being played. And I want to have some ETH available for when the MLS cards come up, because I think if you can pick up some of the MLS ones early doors, not the first few mints, but if you could pick some of them up, you know, once I get to like mint 5 onwards, people are paying a premium for the higher, you know, for the higher bonuses on them, because all of a sudden all the 5% bonuses will vanish off people's cards. So there's definitely that there. No issues of chances. You need to get more. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, totally. Do you know what? I think if you'd have seen the video of the podcast from the other day. I went through almost half a box of tissues. I was really unwell when I did the podcast, so my mind wasn't entirely focused. So yeah, no, the putting the minimums on, I tend to put a minimum on. Sometimes I do find that having a minimum there does deter people from even making offers sometimes. So what I've often done is I put it as a secret one. That way, nobody sees that you've got one there, and at least that way you're not going to get bothered with kind of like nuisance ones. But no, that was actually just that one there was just a DM on Discord, and it's just you're looking at it and you're thinking, like, why would I give you cash to go with the player? If you're wanting the player, you can offer for the player. I'm not going to be offering you cash to go with it. It's fucking ludicrous. That's a bad tackle on Koyamatsu there out wide. Kind of right through his shin. Yeah, I always put it as a secret minimum. Yeah, totally. I think that's the thing. It does seem to deter people from, if I know for myself, if I see somebody's got a minimum, the first thing I do is usually offer that. So if somebody's got something listed for say 0.06, and they've got a minimum of 0.055, then I'm usually going in at the 0.055 and test their metal and see if that's what they're after, and if they are, then I'll roll with it. I do sometimes tend to find that it's a way to get your cards listed without continuing to devalue them. So if you put them as the lowest on the market, but you're putting a low, a slightly lower minimum, and it's a visible one, then that was close to handball outside the box from the keeper there. I think it's Fukumoto. Is it? God, sorry, my apologies. It's Kami Fukumoto, isn't it? Yeah, Kami Fukumoto. I just know my my attempts at pronouncing some of these, some of the names could be quite comical. So yeah, no, Kami Fukumoto, the goalkeeper for Kyoto. I'm probably just going to refer to him as the goalkeeper for Kyoto. God, another poor ball into the box. They're really struggling here. They're not playing well at all. And Kyoto are packing the box. What's that? 9 players in the box there? Really playing deep. That's just a poor ball. He's kept it in though. No. But yeah, it's... Still, I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't have thought, just over a year ago when I started on Sorare, that I'd be sitting this engrossed in Japanese football. It is quite something what Sorare does and what it opens you up to. The only things I really knew about Japanese football was, Gary Lineker played there in the 90s and at the end of his career for Nagoya, and they all had really wild coloured strips in the kind of 90s. So that's been the only thing I really knew about Japanese football. So the last year's been quite an adventure in terms of finding out more about certain players and actually doing so much research. If this game was on at the same time as the Old Firm game, and it actually, I would probably, if it was one where, if I still had my full Reysol stack, I'd be watching this game over the Old Firm game, because it would be holding more interest to me. So one thing I have been doing is I was looking on various websites and looking for some older kits. I was having a wee nosy on the likes of eBay and the things like classic shirts and things like that for some of these teams' kits, and I have got a website that I use to get this kit. I think I've termed it as a replica of a replica, as opposed to out and out just saying, yep, no, it's it's a copy, but it's a replica of a replica. I mean, that's how I look at it. But the price was a fraction of what the other one was. So, but I've been waiting on the Reysol one going on to it. But I do like the one. I think it's on the 2020 cards, the yellow one with the black sleeves. It's a favourite. I do like that one. I think I've got Sagawa in that kit. And it's one I definitely like that one. I like this black one that I've got on for Considol. I like the black one here that Reysol are wearing. I just like the gold coming through it. That's a foul throw every day of the week. I don't know how foul throws don't get called more often than they do, because boy oh boy, I mean, hit it. I mean, there was an opportunity there for a hit it, and we're just standing waiting on somebody else taking ownership of it. So it's boy oh boy, some of these passes are poor. I could see why some of these players are on lower ratings. That's a good ball this time. Oh sweet Jesus! That shot has gone so far over the bar from Savio that I reckon that might land in my back garden in 15 minutes. No, it's a poor one. It's a poor one. Excuse me. I do apologise. Still quite a chesty cough. One shot blocked. Not a lot else from the young lad so far. This not being able to go to the shops stuff is really frustrating. So you're sitting wanting some juice or... Oh, that's right through the back, referee. How is that not a free kick? My goodness. I think Koyamatsu owes somebody money here because he is getting beaten. Oh, what are we doing here? That's going to be a booking as well. It's Takahashi, isn't it? No, it's not. It's Nakamura. I thought it was 8 on his back as opposed to 6, but yep. Almost half time here, so what I think I might do is come back for a second half. I'm going to pause during the half time, and then I'll update or upload a second stream. Excuse me, for the second half, just so that I can go and do a few things during the half time. Try and organise to get some juice. I might not. I might just keep it open, keep the chat open. Morning, buddy. Because yeah, already I can feel my throat going, and it's only coming up to half time. So I think if I could have a wee 15-minute break at half time as well, that might actually just get my voice through this second half here. Oh, it's poor again. It's just not been a good performance so far at all from Reysol. I think they'll need to make some significant changes in the second half, because I don't see this cutting it, to be perfectly honest. I mean, Kyoto are packing men behind the ball, but yeah, it's just not a good performance as yet. Yeah, do you know what? There is some now that the season's progressing. There's some definite. That's another foul throw. I mean, fuck me. Both teams are literally just throwing the ball straight down into the ground. It's a foul throw. There's no two ways about it. I don't understand how this is. Like, this lad here that's taking the throw just now, I don't know if it's the same space. I mean, that again, how is that not a foul throw? He's literally just putting the ball down. It's, oh my goodness. No, Ryan, you're not late, don't worry at all, buddy. It's just coming up to half time. Yeah, it's just coming up to half time here, but we'll be running. Do you know what? I did. I didn't have another option to put in the under-23s other than play them, so I just went with it, and it was what it was. Nakashima didn't start, so it was academic in the end anyway. But yeah, you know, I'd seen him in training during the week, and apparently it was the tail end of the week that he wasn't in training. Fortunately, they've not done a similar announcement like they did with Karaoke, so it doesn't look like it's going to be anything too severe. But there's, I think we've got 10 days. I think it's not this midweek, but next that the next round of fixtures are. So I think we'll, yeah, I think it's going to be one of those where I'll just see what happens going forward. But yeah, next weekend no games, but that'll be a busy midweek. Headed clear. I think that's going to be the half. Yes, it is half time. 1-0. Right, I'm going to leave this open, but I'm going to order some stuff. Is there, if there's any, I don't know if anybody wants to discuss anything in particular. Do you know what? No league does. No league calls foul throws, but see when you watch it, it's the most basic of things, isn't it? Really, I mean, it should be called more often, regardless whether it's an advantage gate or whatever. A foul throw is a foul throw, and it's professional footballers that are, unable to take fucking a simple throw in. So, yeah, it's one that frustrates me a little bit, but. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I'm going to click through my teams, just have a wee nosy. I do need something out of Tashima here. 35.7. I just, I need to get over it. I need to just kind of move on from it. But 40 points lost from the goalkeeper and defender in the 90th minute would have been monstrous. I really do think that would have probably got me a card. Possibly a high one, but it certainly would have got me a card. Yeah, honestly, I remember it's like the number of times you would get pulled for it at Sunday League, for a foul throw or for not having 2 feet on the ground or whatever, and it's just simple basic stuff. But some of these ones in this game, and it's the lad who scored, has done every one of them, and it's been friggin' horrendous, like really bad. Challenger. Do you know what? Challenger wasn't looking too bad until a couple of late goals here as well. I've been haunted with late goals. So I had them captained because they were playing Tyrrell and they've had a poor run of form, but they seem to be their bogey team. So I lost a big chunk of points off of him. So there's no scope of getting a card in there. Even 100 points from Vicina probably wouldn't be enough. My casual status first to 225,000. All-Star, I'm going to need something. I've got Takahashi on 40 at the moment. Koyamatsu 36. I'm only 159, so that's poor again. Still got my striker to go. But yeah, and then this was a disaster. 0. I've got him still to play. And I mean, he's got a good bonus on him as well, so it's only going to be, he's going to get 60% of his points, and yeah, it's just frustrating. Just a few things this weekend just being a wee bit frustrating. Maybe I spread myself too thin, but to be perfectly honest, the teams that I had in, there wasn't really scope for them to do much more anyway, so kind of is what it is. Morishima helping out big time here. Miura, Kim, clean sheet, just kept there. Diego Oliveira was my only kind of let down in that one. But yeah, 295, that's not going to be enough for a card, I wouldn't believe either. I think it's 2,000 places are getting cards in that one, but I don't see that even coming close to holding. It'll probably end up somewhere in the 3,000 range, I would imagine. But you never know, I suppose. Yeah, 2,000 cards, so. But I don't foresee that being anywhere close in that one, so. But yeah, so hopefully Rob's first place in Asia rare holds. That would be pretty spectacular. Let's have a wee look at the leaderboards then. Let's just do that. Where is Asia? Here we go. Yeah, look at that, Rob. Got a good 20 points on it as well, so. And a good 50 points on 4th place. Nice action. I really hope that holds in. That would be fantastic. Final. Well, do you know what? See if you've got ETH available. I would be looking at picking up. Some of the prices really dropped off. Like Sahan Radlinger, he was going in the auctions for 0.213, and he's a nailed on starter. He's contracted for next season, and I think the season after, if my memory serves. I'll just double check that before I'm talking nonsense. But he'd been selling there. Now he did have a couple of good scores in a row, so his price went up. That 15 from yesterday will probably drag that down. Excuse me. Where is the player data? I can't get it to come up. Yeah, see, Sahan Radlinger's contracted to Riyadh till next summer. So getting a starting goalkeeper for 0.2 or even under 0.25 is going to be massive. There is lots of, I know initially when it happened, there was a ton of, people worried. But it's definitely more than possible to still pull out the ETH with, a non-playing goalkeeper. But Kawasaki and Ulsan easily catch. Now, oh yeah, because their game was right before the deadline, wasn't it? So they've still got games to go. But yeah, I wouldn't stress. I think you'll probably find that there'll be a pretty solid shot there. So let's have a look at Specialist Limited. What's the leader on that? And that's all played out there. 357. Man, that's so frustrating. I probably shouldn't even look at this. So I would be sitting someplace about here, actually. 7th is where I'd be sitting right now. Frustrating. Rob, do you know what? If I'm being perfectly honest, I'm Oldie, how you doing? No, don't worry, buddy. If you're, I know what train journeys are like, so you go through complete black spots on them, eh? To be perfectly honest, my content had kind of dried up a wee bit. One was work being busy, and then obviously I got ill. So yes, I am planning on ramping up the videos. I'm not back to work, at the earliest, I'm back to work on Tuesday, but at the moment, it's probably going to be Wednesday because I'm still testing positive. And I need to have 2 clear days if I'm to end isolation early. So I'm going to have at least tomorrow. And I can't go anywhere, so I'll just be doing it. I'll just be doing things from home. So yeah, I'm going to do some more threshold ones. I'm wanting to actually do a couple of limited videos, and that's going to be an experiment for myself. I've always all my content's always kind of been around, the rares and the thresholds and things, but this weekend's kind of opened my eyes a wee bit into what is possible on a much, much smaller budget. And I think it might be worth having a wee nosy at doing something there as well. MLS one, I had almost everything prepped out for it, and then, as you can hear by my voice, my throat is still pretty bad. I'm still coughing quite a lot, so I am starting to lose my voice a little bit already, which I need to go and get some more juice to help with. But I think I'm wanting to diversify the content quite a bit. And kind of open it up to a lot more people, and I think the podcast has obviously helped open eyes to that as well. I'm imagining most people that are in the chat are going to be people who listen to the podcasts or have given it a go. If you haven't, it's at AVFTD Pod, a view from the dugout, and it's myself and Russ, Scotland Sorare. We've had 3 episodes so far. We've had nothing but positive feedback. It's all relatable content. Neither of us are what you would call whales. Russ has got a much bigger gallery than me. He did start off with, I think he started off with about 7 times what I invested. But we're far from whales. Both worked up from the lower end of things and worked our way up, and hopefully we're giving some good some good content there for people to be able to listen to, and but from that has spawned a few ideas. I think Russ has got some ideas that he's going to be trying to do himself, and certainly I've now got the bug for some of the limited cards. I've got a few cards up for sale at the moment, trying to get a couple of sales over the next day or two so that I can reinvest. I've got a couple of Tokyo players. I'm thinking about seeing if I could squeeze a Tokyo team together for midweek. In terms of the limited, certainly not the rares, but I'm not too sure. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's been fun. So yeah, no, there will be a lot more content this week. I would like to say I'd get to the point where it was either daily or every other day. It's a lot of work to put the videos together. They're all one take. I never edit them or anything like that. But in terms of putting the slides together for it or what have you, it does take a lot of work and a lot of time. So that's where a lot of the a lot of things have been held up recently in terms of not being able to get them done. So, but they will be coming. So, but yeah, I think some more threshold based ones. I'm probably going to do not just an MLS one, but more of an Americas one, with the leagues that are still running over the summer. So probably a bit of Brazil, some of the new leagues that have just, that have been added, and obviously the MLS. The MLS one, there's always, certainly one thing I noticed during the week, I think it was maybe Wednesday and Thursday when I was really getting involved with the limiteds, the trading was so much fun. I think I made 0.04 just over the course of maybe 8 to 10 hours. And that was basically, I was buying 2022 cards as they were coming through the auctions, listing them up, and people were buying them for with a premium on them because they've got the 5% attached to them, and most of the limited cards had 0 or 0 or 1. So I think there's going to be scope to do something similar in America with the MLS. So yeah, I think that might be something I have a wee look at and try and build on there as well. So yeah, I think, like I say, plenty of content. I'm going to do a wee planning session later on today, and just try and figure out some things that I would like to, get set up and going. So I'm just going to quickly finish getting my order sent away for my delivery. There we go. And I just need to get a few things sent in because, as I say, can't get to the shop, so it's a wee bit frustrating. Get some lunch-based stuff at the same time. I know this is riveting content as well, so I'm trying to place an order, but I'm an old man. It's hard to do 2 things at once. Get some snacks at the same time. But yeah, I'll be back. I should be back to work either Tuesdays when I'm rotated back, but it might be Tuesday, it might be Wednesday, just depending on my COVID status. So I'm just gonna. Card details. So are we getting some changes here to start the second half? Let's have a wee look. I don't think so. Oh no, there is. Shirai's been subbed out. Superb. One of my players is off. That's from, he's in the underdog league, so I'm not. It's not the end of the world. I wasn't going to win anything in that one. But I must admit, I don't know how everybody else feels about the other leagues that have come in, but I'm a big fan of the the specialist league and the underdog league. I think it's a great way for people to progress in the game. I certainly think the specialist one, being able to use limited cards and get rare cards as a reward, and not any old rare cards. I mean, if like say, if I'd have held on there for a 130 quid team, I potentially could have won, a tier 1 or even better from that. So it does kind of open eyes, and I think if anybody could come in and play on as low an end as possible. Now that was a really cool little huddle. They basically all just sprint. The Kyoto players were all in a huddle and sprinted out in different directions. That was pretty cool. Sorry, I kind of geeked for that. But yeah, it's I think it just helps people get involved a wee bit more, especially if you've genuinely got an opportunity with lower value cards to be able to, genuinely compete, win a card that could be, life changing money. If you get tier 0, and get something that's worth 4 figures or more. I don't care what anybody says. For 90% or more, probably 95% of the players who play Sorare, and I'm sure if any of us got a 4-figure card, that's life changing money. That really is life changing money. So to be able to do that with a team that's worth, that's only going to set you back, 150, 200 quid. It's it's definitely something I think is worth having a proper dig at, and that's why I'm now having a wee look at what I could sell and to bring in some extra cards, because I've genuinely enjoyed it. So you think, do you know what, it depends. It really does depend. I think you're not always going to win. If you are going with the limited cards, if you can get a team into the specialist, then great. I mean, the only thing is you are only looking at a 500 place prize pool, so you're not looking at the biggest prize pool in the world. Let me just have a wee look. I'm just going to bring it up on my phone so that I don't interfere with the stream here. Prize pool for mixed. So yeah, there's 8,700 entered this week and 500 prizes. So you're only looking at about 6% of the players who play will win a card. But then again, when you look at Limited All-Star, (2-0), and it's Utaka. Straight from, it's poor. It's just really poor at the back. Reysol are not looking like the team that they were. Yeah, sorry, 6% of the places are getting it, and then in All Star, it's about 8%. So it really, it comes down to your own preferences. But I think the value of the prizes that you can win are going to be quite high. So yeah, me personally, my first choice would be to try and get a team in there. The one thing you're going to have to watch is trying to keep, you're going to have to get cards that are good, or have good potential, but are available at the under 40 range. Uh, yeah, do you know what? It is a learning circle or a learning curve, whichever way you want to put it. The trying to figure out, when's the best time to sell in a league and things like that. I think personally, the time for selling the Challenger Europeans is probably come and gone. I think it's time at the moment to hold what you can afford to hold. And then, I mean, what are we now? We're mid April, so you're probably talking, in my opinion, um, between a month and 6 weeks. Probably the end of May, beginning of June. I think you'll start to see the European prices climb back up again, because you're going to be, it's going to be shorter summers, because they've got the Winter World Cup coming. So you have got that there to consider. You will get a bit more. Hello, Shadow. You coming in? You coming in to see? Come on, round this way. Yeah, you have got more. You coming up this side, Shadow? Up. Come here. You can come and say hello. You come and say hello. This is Shadow. He's an old man, like his dad. Here you are, pal. Best pooch in the world. And you, pal. What you saying? What you saying? I'm on live. You saying hello? No? Good boy. Sorry about that. We invasion from the dog. He's going to get his toys now. And he's going to show off, because I think I've told him that there's people there. But yeah, I think there's going to be shorter summers, so I think people will start to look at picking up their European cards, in the June, certainly no later than early July. But that's probably the time where I might actually look at selling my European cards. Rolling with the Asia ones for a few more, for a couple of months, maybe into September, and then buy back into Europe again. Just because, if prices are booming, we've seen what happened with the Asia markets and the MLS markets. Yeah, Shadow just coming to say hi. But yeah, it is. I sold my MLS cards during the boom in the MLS at the end of the season and bought J League cards. So some of the cards I bought, at a higher price and things like that as well. But they are, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. There's no, if you could find the right time to sell your cards every time, obviously you'd be a millionaire. And I don't think any of us are at the moment. Excuse me. Apologies for that. But yeah, it is difficult to hold the cards, and I sold some of the cards before the summer, because before the winter break, because I just couldn't justify carrying. I couldn't have. I sold Guzan. I had Guzan, and I sold him because I couldn't justify holding, 500 quid's worth of dead weight over the winter, and everything you do when you do sell them, you wouldn't have then had the cards that you do have now. So it swings and roundabouts. You have to kind of keep everything in perspective. So but yeah, I think that's one of the tough parts is keeping your, if you are operating on a smaller budget, being able to sit and hang on to these cards and not want to cash in on them. I mean, there's certainly a couple of targets I could look at getting if I did, if I did sell one or two. But I know fine well I'm going to be selling them now for a price where there's, yeah, Ryan, yeah, definitely there will be. I don't know what the start dates are for some of the leagues. I haven't, to be perfectly honest, it's not something I've looked at as of yet. I remember last year sitting doing that whilst my son was playing football. Sitting at the side of the pitch just with all the leagues. But yeah, I mean, I think, like, for example, I think the Scottish League is stopping, I think it's the third week in November. But I don't know why some of the leagues, oh, there was a chance there. Some of the leagues that are stopping, like the Scottish League, unless we qualify, I don't understand why we're stopping, really, to be perfectly honest. Good ball. But yeah, this performance so far from Reysol has been extremely disappointing, but it's going to be one that's definitely going to cost any chance of a decent card, because Tashima is 32.8 at the moment. That's pish. He is one of my under 40s, and this is what I'm saying, in terms of getting for the specialist, getting an under 40 card that could go off. Yeah, that's not even close to offside there that they've given. But yeah, I could do with Tashima getting something going here. Even a goal line clearance, I would take anything at the moment just to get him, get a decisive from him and get myself into the 300s for the specialist league. I actually don't think that score's even going to hold for a card. Never know, you never know, but I don't think it will. Not at all a good performance. So as you can see from the scores. Yeah, I've just put my phone down. My phone's got my chat. If you see me with my phone in my hand, it's not that I'm actually ignoring things or doing anything else. It's just the fact that my I think if you've been on any live streams before, I've got a second monitor, but when I try to go and stream, it won't upload. It just gives me errors constantly, and it's the only way I could get it to go is if I disconnect the other monitor and it comes on fine. So I don't understand that. So yeah, Douglas isn't on the bench today, I don't think. I didn't see him on the bench. No, he's not. Oh, is that on? I mean, it's 6s and 7s at the back. Do you think the under 45 not hurt a lot? Do you know what? I think the changes are only for the midweeks, if I'm not mistaken, and that's just due to the smaller number of players available. And I think that's the only reason that it's down to it's been increased to 45. So I don't think the 45 is a permanent thing. I do think that that's going to just be, if you have a look at the calendar, it does appear that that's only for those two midweek rounds. So I think that's I want to say, is it 263 and 265? Or 265 and 267, I think it is. I'm pretty sure it's just for the midweeks. The other ones I'm pretty sure are staying as they were. I can double check that right enough. Oh no, I misread it. It was this. Hold on, where's it? Oh, so that's for the underdog, yeah. You know what, I think it's possibly been with some of the seasons coming to an end or being limited, that might be. I do think it's probably a prize pool thing. No, I think no, you are right, Ryan. It's just it was me that misread it. I thought it was only increased, but it's 45 for those weeks and 50 for the midweeks. So yeah, no, that could hurt the under 40 value, but I think because the underdog league's still under 40, I don't think that's going to be a big. I don't think it's going to be a big thing. To be perfectly honest, I think that's going to be okay. Um, I don't think that's going to be something that's a massive impact to the prices. Certainly not the limited prices. The limited prices, I missed, some of the cards that I was picking up. I was like, geez, I'm picking up this card for, you know, £3 or £4, and it's just, it does seem. There was 3 substitutions there for Shihase, Kawaguchi, and Misaki. So yeah, Kayamatsu, he is leaving my club. That is for sure. I think I'm going to try and make a run at Morishima. Sure as fate, I sell him though, and he comes good again. But it's just been a very, very frustrating card. Every single week. I mean, I think this is the first game in a while that he's had where he hasn't had a big chance missed, because that's usually his thing. So when we look at his price isn't great either, to be perfectly honest. So he will come good. He will come good. It's just obviously the rest of the team's playing pretty poorly as well, so it's not ideal. Excuse me, guys. Yeah, he did. He did. He started well. That was like I say. I had him, and then I started to play him, and he's just really shit the bed for me. So it's not been a great performance from him, to be perfectly honest. But hey ho, hey ho. You don't win everyone. That's the thing. Regardless what anybody says, you don't win every one of them. You do need. You do have these ones where you do, struggle a wee bit, but. Hosoi is not setting the world alight today either. Defenders playing poorly. Tashima, not too bad in terms of the assists and things. In terms of certain assist duels. You know what? Morishima's the one I'm kind of looking at, to be perfectly honest. His price didn't look too bad. Yeah, let's have a wee. I will have a wee nosy whilst I'm at it. I have got a Daleton up for sale as well, from Tokyo. With Tokyo having the games in midweek, I do suspect I might get a wee bit of value out of him. Let's have a wee look. I suspect Morishima's price is probably going to increase significantly just because of his performance today. Looks like it has. There was ones earlier for about 0.08 or so. Yeah, 60 minutes in. Very little to write home about from Reysol. Kyoto, that's going to push them right up the league. That'll be 15 points, and they'll be. Let's have a wee look. That puts them up to 5th in the league. with a game in hand that could put them, as good as third. So that's impressive from the newly promoted side. Very impressive. As you can see from the scores, they're much the better side. But yeah, that's what I'm needing to see. Are we, if Tashima could maybe get a goal line clearance or an assist or a goal, it's probably going to be my only shout to get anything out of this now. Yeah, the league's all over the place, to be perfectly honest. I mean, you look at some of the big names at the bottom end of the table. I mean, Vissel Kobe are down there, Nagoya are down there. It's Urawa are still, they've moved up a wee bit into mid-table, but they've also got to play the game more than most. Yeah, it's not a great one, to be perfectly honest. Fukumori, I'm not sure. I think it might end up coming out that it's maybe a COVID related thing or something. But I feel he was one of the ones that was out, with a few weeks ago. But it could be something like that. It was just a nothing, wasn't it? It's a strange one but it's a combination of the clubs being very secretive with information, and it's not like there seems to be this press conference roulette that they do in with the Premier League in England, or most leagues in the world, to be perfectly honest. So finding the actual information out, I mean, the guys like Matsuyama and Sorare Japan, or they're obviously guys that are in Japan, maybe getting a wee bit more from local media. But I'm even searching players. I'm finding the player's name in Japanese, and searching the Japanese spelling of their name, and trying to find information from various websites that way, because you do find a lot more than just searching, say, Kaneko. If you actually search for his Japanese spelling of his name, you'll get all the local articles over there, and then you can obviously Google will translate them for you anyway. But yeah, it's been it is tough to try and get some information, so you do very often get just out of nowhere DNPs with no explanation for several days. You might find out by Wednesday what you didn't play on the previous Saturday. So oh, Sugeno was a phenomenal goalkeeper. If you look at his heat map, let me just get his heat map. Because it's quite something to look at, his season heat map. I mean, look, he plays. I mean, the sweeper keeper. Everybody thinks Manuel Neuer invented the sweeper keeper. I'm not sure. This he epitomises it. He's got dots all the way up as far as here. But I mean, to have an extreme red up that far, just shy of the centre circle, brilliant. I mean, if you have a look at his stats, he's played every game bar the one where there was all the players were out with COVID. Penalty saves 1 out of 2. Goals conceded 1.1 per game, but that he had 5 in one game there, so it's not a real fair reflection. It doesn't actually show you a number of clean sheets, does it? Oh yeah, the clean sheets 3 out of 8. So yeah, no errors leading to shots or anything like that, and just a very, very, very solid player. You can pick up his backups. It seems to be Otani seems to be the main backup at the moment, and I think he was sitting on the market for 0.02 or 0.03. Yeah, and do you know what? It's his passes. It's the number of touches and passes that he has. Ryan, yeah, I totally get where you're coming from with the age, but I've always said, especially if you're buying a rare goalkeeper, you need to buy the backup. It was looking like it was Nakano, who I've got, under 23, and he set me back a couple £100. But it made me feel a lot more at ease because I felt if Sugeno had a poor run of form, that it was going to be him that was going to come in. Instead, it was Otani that played when Sugeno was out, which was quite a surprise. But that also led to his price coming down and me being able to afford him, so that was a bonus. But you could pick up Otani for, I think, like I say, a 0.02, 0.03 at the moment. So yeah, you might, if you did want to pick up somebody like a Sugeno, you can pick his backup up quite cheaply. The one you would probably have to then look at saving up for would be Nakano, because he would be the wild card, the risk in case that he doesn't get a start. So yeah, I think he's up to a 56 average at the minute. That one game where he let in the 5, he only scored 23, but for the rest of the games this season, he's just been in great form. Let's have a wee look if I bring him up in here. If I could type. I got mine for less than 0.08 as well. So that always pleases me. Because everybody thought he was going to retire at the end of the season, but I didn't think for a second. Oh yeah, Sugeno's a clear number one. It's not even close. It's not even close. But yeah, there's the start of the season there. So he's had a 45, 37, 93, 53, 50, 26, 76 and a 60. So he's a safe pair of hands as the old C3PO. Yeah, I think that's roughly about 70 quid. Let me just... Koki Otani. But yeah, he had a poor game. I think he gave away one of the goals. He was slightly cheaper. So you might want to hang on and have a look at the auctions when they come round again. Because that's what he was going for in the auction. 30 quid. So I wouldn't be paying the prices that are on the screen. I wouldn't be paying anything like this. I would just wait till the auctions come around and have a nosy at that. That's what my plan is, to see if I can pick him up, because then that's me got full coverage for Considal. So whatever happens, I would be covered. That would be my plan. Looks like, is that Angelotti coming on? Let's go back to here. My goodness, that's poor defending. And that's the end of the game for Sorare. Angelotti coming on for him. He's had no service whatsoever the whole game. It's just been a really shambolic outing for them. So yeah, we will see. I mean, if anybody looks more likely to score, it seems more likely to be Kyoto than Reysol, which has surprised me. It really has. Oh my goodness. They're now tackling each other and kicking the ball off each other, and a real shambles of a performance, to be perfectly honest. That's a ball though. I mean, like, what are you doing? Pass the thing. First touch of a horse. Angelotti, I mean, they do love a Brazilian in the J League, but he's not a good one. First touch of an absolute horse. I think it's 5. I think it's 5 subs, Jack. But yeah, it's not been a fun game to watch, to be perfectly honest. I'm glad I was able to do a stream though, because it kind of gets you back in the habit of doing things. So I like to say I will be looking at getting some content out. Yeah, do you know what they used last season? They were on Free Sport on on digital, and this year they've not been. Well, not that I've noticed anyway. It was like the MLS games were split between Sky Sports and Free Sport as well, so you were able to get a game on there as well. Because I think I've still got one of the games from last season on my Digibox thing. So yeah, it would be good if they got the rights back to it. I didn't know they were losing them, but you would think with the if a league wants growth worldwide, you kind of have to have a deal in some place like a massive football country like the UK. And I mean, to be fair, yeah, this game's not been the greatest, but the standard of some of the games is really high, and there are some really, really good players. Yeah, so they've still got the MLS. To be honest, because I seen they didn't have the J League, I stopped looking. So, but yeah, I don't think any league is any channel is actually showing the J League at the moment. Even if it was a paying channel, I'd probably consider getting it. If they put it on Premier Sport instead of Free Sport, I would probably consider it. Even some of the guff that's on some of the channels because BT's got a bunch of channels. Eurosport, I know it's Euro, but even some of the channels like that could obviously have them. Yeah, and they seem to just you have to pre-order the shirts. They don't just seem to have them on the shelf. And I think that's why they cost so much. This one I've got didn't cost as much. You could drop me a DM if you want a link. It certainly wasn't the prices, but as I mentioned earlier, it was a replica of a replica as well. So it's not necessarily kosher. Yeah, boy going off on a stretcher. To be honest, oh God, you better both carry him. There's only one side seemed to pick the boy up on the stretcher there. I thought that was going to be one of those calamity moments that was going to end up on YouTube. Yeah, Tashima's gone down in points to a 6.4, which means his score's probably going to be down 34.8. Yeah, that's totally going to cost us getting a card. I mean, there's still time for him to do something and get a. Jesus Christ! I think Angelotti just attempted to get a penalty for the worst dive I've ever seen in my life. Actually kicked his legs out like he was diving into a pool. I don't rate him in the least. I thought about picking him up because he seems to come on as a forward, but his cards in the game are a midfield card. So, one to avoid would be my suggestion there. Oh, the mascot card. See if there was the, what is his name? Dokagon, the mascot for Considol. I would absolutely have it, like, even a key ring or something like that. It's an absolute beauty. My favourite mascot of all time was Chow from the World Cup Italia '90. I don't know if that's just because it was the first World Cup that I remember, but it was definitely my favourite mascot. I've got my young lad into Football Manager. He's just sending me screenshots of playing it. He's been playing the Xbox version, so it's not the full version, but I'll take it. He's guided Dundee to third place in the league. If only. I would take 11th right now. But yeah, it's always fun when you see things like that. No, not Partick Thistles. I don't know if you've seen the Forfar one, which is actually a bridie. It's it's a pastry. The Forfar bridie is their mascot. It's quite something. Let's see if I could find it. Get a load of this. How's this for one of the worst mascots you'll ever see in your puff? Baxter the Bridie. Now tell me that Baxter the Bridie is not a beaut. Do you know what? God almighty, trying to play the MLS in Football Manager, that is brutal. When you discover all the different league rules that they have. Yeah, it's tough when you've got general allocated funds and you've got various other. What the hell? It's a bridie. It's a pastry. Forfar's famous for its bridies, and that is Baxter the Bridie. Yeah, that's what that is. But yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. But yeah, it's a pastry like you would get in it's a local delicacy. But yeah, it's quite something. That's Russ whinging about how bad Reysol are. He's not sitting doing a live stream of the game. So I was going to say that to him. At least you're not doing a live stream of it. No, it's not, but there is an add-on you can get for it, and it's pretty good. It doesn't have the real team names. They're one of the leagues that have got their names blocked out because they don't have the rights to it. If you just Google it, if you Google FM22 J League, you'll find the add-on, and you just download it, and you could get it updates it so that the players are in it at least. You can have it so that the players are in it and the league's playable. I've got a game at the moment. I decided to start a game whilst I was off, and I started at Celtic because I just wanted an easy time of it. And I was having a look at what J League players were in it, and there was Miura was available in my update, and I sort of picked him up, and he's been sensational for me so far. I'm only at the end of August, but we're into the Champions League proper, and he's been solid. But yeah, have a nosy on you. If you Google it, you'll find it. So. But thankfully, there is only 7 or so minutes plus stoppage time to go, because this has been poor fare. I've actually had to try and find things to talk about, like Forfar Bridies, because This game's been abysmal. You do get the K-League on it, however. The K-League is part of Football Manager right from the start without you having to download anything. That's Savio going off for one of Russell's picks, I believe. I think that's the young lad. Inoki has come on. Yep, he has. That was one of Russ's picks from the podcast this week. Does seem to consistently keep getting some game time, so could definitely want to watch for the future. Oh, God. That was half a chance there for Reysol. Just half a chance, though. That was the young lad trying to get a shot away there that was blocked. But 5 minutes to go. Let's get the chat window open. That's a great ball. Nope. Excuse me. Definitely running out of voice though. So once this game's finished, I will quickly curtail the video. But yeah, we're 4 minutes. Well, they're in the corner already. There's still quite a bit of time to go for sitting in the corner. But yeah, just a last few minutes, something from Tashima would be good. And would hopefully help push it towards definitely getting a card. Fuck me. What is that? Oh, yellow cards. I don't know what the fascination with players is pulling their shorts up so high. It's very weird. Oh. What are you saying, Shadow? Oh my god, can't even do simple little passes. Yep, can't even do simple little passes. Yeah, this has been a very poor game. We'll try and choose a better game in the future. Didn't anticipate it being quite as bad as this though. tell you, Peter Utaka's not a bad pickup. I think it's still a very expensive card, but I don't think it's a bad pickup. Just his age, you wonder if he would, last the full season playing like he is. But can't complain for the scores he's getting just now. There's absolutely no urgency here whatsoever. I'm probably going to give us another couple of minutes, and that's going to be full time anyway, so excuse me, I'm genuinely running out of voice, so but thank you to everybody that's been on the stream. I do appreciate it. It's always fun kind of just watching the games and having a bit of a chat at the same time, because I would have been watching it anyway, so and the missus is no interest in the J League, so there's nobody to chat to with about it, so it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 minutes added on as well, but I don't know if I'm going to hang about for that, because this has been very dire. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to call it here, guys. Yeah, right, feeling a bit better, but the more I'm talking, I've been talking here for about 2 hours, so my throat is actually starting to hurt, and I'm actually starting to lose my voice altogether. So I think for everybody's sake, I might just call it here. As I say, thank you to everybody that's been watching the stream. I do appreciate the support, but I think I'm going to call it here. It's probably, we'll figure a better game next weekend. But until then, until during the week, guys, I'll speak to you all on Twitter. Okay, take care.